Hello everyone. My name is Linda Gunner. I am the CEO and founder of Linda's Perfection Creations. Linda's Perfection Creations is a event planning and wedding decor company. We cater to small and large events in around the Philadelphia area. We do full service, partial, custom events. We do milestone celebrations. We do fundraiser, corporate events. We plan in all the surrounding states. We do destination wedding as well. My business, I started my business a hobby and it turned into what it is now, a very successful business. So I'm very grateful. I'm a master certified wedding planner and a certified florist. I have many years in the wedding industry. So today I want to talk about, and as we transition from summer to fall, for those who are getting married in the fall, to see some of the colors that go well together for the fall, the colors that stand out that will bring forward the line with the fall team. So excuse me, today I want to talk about those colors. So we're going to start with the basics. We're going to start with lavenders. Well, lavender, there's a lot of pretty colors you can do. You know, the purple, the light lavenders. You can blend, almost in a dark light more. You can do a lot of colors to go with lavender, and lavender comes in multiple shades. You can go as dark as you want, and you can mix those three colors together, and they will look very beautiful. And it's just, and especially with your flowers, if you have the greenery, you have because it's fall. You want to play. It don't always have to be the orange. You can play with a lot of colors during the fall that will kind of put it together and just make it right. And then also we're gonna talk about the peach and green. Peach and green is so beautiful together. You can do peach, you can do coral, you can do green, the mint green, the light green, especially with the fall leaf and everything. It just, oh my God, it's beautiful. So you can consider those colors that kind of will work hand to hand. It's like the shade. It's so beautiful together. And and you can research online to see how they look, but there's a lot of palette that go with that looks great. And then also you have the cranberry. With cranberry, you can do blue, you can do brown, you can do orange tone colors, and the shade that kind of mix with the citrusy shades. It just looks so beautiful. And you can do the orange tones, the orange tone family. You can do from, you know, the rust, the gold, the 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 like I said, cranberry, that kind of like that dark, like looks like red, but it's not red. It's kind of like color that go with it. You can do emeralds. You can do ivory. You can do a lot of things to go with that. And then also to talk about the shades of emerald ivory. Ivory goes with a lot as well. You can do burnt orange. You can do dusty blue. You can do light green. You can do mint green. You can do sage. You can do a lot of palette that goes brightly with the fall. It just said it because, like, think about the leaves is changing, the atmosphere is changing, and the color pattern. And you can go from light to dark, or you can go from dark to light. Just blend your colors. You can use, especially the emerald, you can use about 3 to 4 different shade of greens to bring out the accent up. So you can go dark palette, light palettes, and just makes it a combination that looks really good. And then on top of that, you got the burnt orange and the dusty blue. You with burnt orange, you want to go with, you know, the lighter shade. So just think about it. You know how you got that rust orange kind of look, but it's not quite orange, it's not that bright orange. And they put like a little darker blue, not navy blue, but it's dusty. It's kind of like not close to the purple family, like the indigo color. It close to that, not purple, but close to the purple indigo color. That kind of like this. It's a little darker, but still a little lighter. You can mix that in, and you can even add peaches to that. So there's a lot of colors. Like, please, I want you to play around with the color this year. Don't just pick one thing and just go with it. You can do a lot for fall. Fall is one of the seasons that you can really play because the temperature of the weather, the nature, that nature feels. So think about it when you go in, for those of her who, you know, bend in the forest or go on the trees or even trees in your neighborhood. You see as it start to transition, you see all the even the leaf in the fall, it changes to different multicolors. And as it changes, you can just sense that sense of just beauty. That golden sunset, a lot of things. So I don't want you to be afraid to use the colors. And even if you're not quite sure when you pick a color, you can go Google. Now is our best friend. You can ask Google like, hey, what colors go with what, or how many colors that I can use, or what some of the color wheel palette. Those are things that they can help you with. And if you can't find it, you can also sign up for my wedding planning class, and where I will show you and teach you how to blend colors and how to do a lot of colors that go with it. So that's another option you have. But you can also find that information online. And then you go with the berries. Who don't like berries? You know, there's different colors of it. It's eye catching. It's fantastic. You can do from the hues, the muted, like all these different berry from. Think about when you look at strawberry, raspberry, blueberry, blackberry, all those colors, all those berries. Like it's just so beautiful. So when you go into the berry tones, those are the colors you want to do. If you're using the peaches, those are the colors you want to do. The green, those are so you got different colors of every palette that's in that you can work with. You don't have to stick with one color. And as I said, you can do with the berry you can even do pink, you can do fuchsia, you can do dark pink. I mean, you can really mix it with like berry blue. There's a lot of colors. Berry family is always beautiful. There's a lot of tones and a lot of things in there that you can mix on there that would just make it stand out. You can do this dark pink, and like I said, it really looks beautiful. And from your flowers to your dress to your venue to your stage, there's a lot of colors that you can blend in there that will look extremely beautiful. And then of course, why would we forget natural? The natural palette is great. Natural, you can do cream, you can do ivory, you can do coral, you can do silver, you can do those natural element colors in there, the beige, the gray, those natural element that can just go together, and use the silver as a spike. Because the natural color is like sample, it's natural. So when you're doing that, you always want to add a splash to it to kind of just give it a little thing, and then you can use you know light and dark to go with it, but just add an accent to it. I would say most of the time when you're using natural, you don't want to use gold colors. I would say silver works best with it because then it don't make it too overpowering. It don't take away from the light then into the natural color that you're using. You want to use at least silver. If you want to add an accent to it, use the silver, baby blue, gray, and light on the lighter side. You don't want to go too dark, then it kind of just take over for those. And then we're gonna go to orange or ivy. With the orange, you can do. It's still kind of close to the natural palette, but it's different. You can do some more. You're going to more towards, the brown, the darker shades of from the orange to the ivy, and you can mix it up. Those color kind of blend together. So you want to make sure that you have those palettes together. Like I said, in every palette you pick, there's a lot of colors that go work hand in hand with it. Sometimes people are afraid, well, if I use this color, that means I cannot use the color or power it. If they are in the same thing and in the same wheel, and therefore you can go sideways, you can go up, you can go back. There's a lot of color in a palette that you can pick for that would go natural. And you can also use when you go into the natural palette, you can use from burnt orange, you can use the brown, the darker gray, the dark navy blue, the dark blue. So natural can go both way. It can go light and it can go dark. It's still elements that kind of transcend between those two. So you want to make sure you're mixing with you want a natural tone. You can go lighter and dark, you can go dark and light. So you can do excuse me, you can do that as well. And then also you can, as I say, you can use your shade of blue, your gold, your ivory. So the gold, this is the rule of thumb. If you are using color that's not overpowering, you can add gold or something in it to kind of give it that standard piece. If a color is too overpowering, in my opinion, not by any aspect on anything, people can choose whatever they want. But whenever you're doing a color, for me, what I feel is that when you're doing something too bold, gold is a statement color. You don't want one to overpower the other. You can do that, but find an element what can balance off. There are sometimes people pick colors that it's just so much. When you see it, you can see it from like 10 miles down the street. So you just want to be careful how you pick your colors. And then also when you're doing your grains, you got yellows, your mint grain. When you're doing your blue, you can use blue with grain. You can do the dark blue, the navy blue, the ivy, those colors. So like most of the time when you're doing those darker palettes, or we're doing something lighter in there, lighter green, a lighter ivory, something to balance it out. So when you are going dark, always try to have those balanced color in there to kind of mix it up. So that is pretty much all for today. Once again, thanks for watching. I hope this was very helpful and informative for you. My name is Linda Gunner. I am the CEO and founder of Linda's Perfection Creations. Please follow me on WhatsApp at www.lindaperfectcreationsevents.com, where you can learn more about my services. Thank you and have an amazing day. Goodbye, everyone.